So I've been involved in karma for a very long time, and very much I made this quote going back to about 2007. What we do today has an impact on our future lives, as our past, historical, has an impact upon today's life, the present life. And we are a creation of our past, present, and future, and very much karma is made of this. So we're going to have a look at some of the hidden factors, the limits, the abundance, life success, health and relationships. Very, very much involved in health, mental health, the suppression of life, poverty, etc. Karma is all involved. So it's not on our radar. We can't touch karma, yet it exists. We don't feel or sense karma, yet it's in action 24/7. And karma can be self inflicted. We create karma within our behavior and actions, and karma can be inherited, entrapped with agreements to others for clearing or completing karma. So it's a whole cocktail. It's direct and indirect action from negative living and choice. For example, if we are cursing someone, we are using negative language, etc., we can create purging, which then turns into karmic debt. For instance, for gossiping um, about others, will all bring about those similar outcomes of karma. Karma is a simple equation. Learn what not to do. But when we ignore, it grows arms and legs and becomes the elephant in the room. The question is, how long have we been learning? Is our consciousness there to learn? Do we have that consciousness to learn and move on, to recognize? In the past, we haven't. Very often people say, I feel stuck, I can't move on. There's repetition, there's a Groundhog Day living. And no matter how much we strive, we cannot move on. Frustration is daily, interactions and relationships suffer. We can be living in the shadows or feel as though we're in the shadow, peeping out on life. And we are living the shell of soul, less of self. Karma can make us feel tired, trapped and caged in life. It creates poverty, suffering consciousness, limitation in life. And spiritual masters use karma to strengthen our weakness, the lessons that we need to master. Karma can be passed down through lineages, families, and it comes from curses and spells. Targeting firstborn children, for instance, the first son, they can be very, very specific and causing and entrapping you in curses and spells that will entrap you in karma. What we decide to do in life is an accumulation of choices and lesson outcomes. The treadmill starts when we're accumulating more than we're learning. With karma and purging, we can be taking more with us when exiting life than when we came in. It comes in different forms. We've got individual, group, environment, world karma, and then we have the positive of soul angelic group correction and assistance. Each of our experiences creates consequences of karma that needs to be dealt with at some point in our evolution. There are three exceptions to the rule of karma. One, we may have a past life contract which attracts low vibrational people or circumstances, and these must be honored. We may have to face challenging situations and people in order to fulfill our chosen destiny or lesson, and this is why great spiritual teachers appear to attract dreadful traumas such as Jesus. We will receive many tests of initiation. Many have completed their karma on their ascension pathway and are receiving tests that are set by spiritual masters to strengthen which areas of our being. And they can be presented as challenging relationships, financial situations, difficulty at work, and in the home. It's very, very much of how we interact with people, our honor, our respect, our tolerance, all of these things will be woven in on an emotional, physical, mental level. Some people are entrenched in karma and they're hitting their head against a brick wall. Karma is involved in everything. A very long list of restrictions and repression exists with karma. There can be small pieces, there can be bigger pieces of the jigsaw. Health, mindsets, poverty, unhappiness, low self-esteem, low confidence, relationships, career, etc. are all involved in karma. And if you don't believe in past lives, this was a piece in the paper of where an American had gone to Rome and was looking at the frescoes and suddenly realized that this guy here in the red at the left of the screen actually looked very familiar. And as you can see, he is the image of Stallone, the actor. So, yeah, he has been put into a fresco that we can now see. And there are many instances of past life influences. So we have been involved and mirrored in many practices and rituals that have produced karmic debt and carried with us into future lives, dominant within our psyche. We have purged ourselves by being economical with the truth. We've created the lies, dishonor, disrespect for the self and others, the neglect of the self, or reluctant to move on, grow, and sabotaging the self. Purging brings a heavy heart and sadness. Energy becomes low and the body cannot be supported. The individual is locked into karma. Mind body health outcomes are the result. And back in ancient times, Egyptians weighed the heart to tell if the person had made karma or not. They would put the heart on one side of the scale, a feather in the other. So indirect karma is from cultures and their karma that they've created, cultural past life limitations and karma. There is intergenerational karma, inherited the family karma. This is at core and DNA level of karmic debt that is woven into you and your psyche, where family decisions, etc., are very much passed on. The beliefs and who in the family is going to have the biggest debt, who's going to carry the can, because everybody will have something from that family. But it depends upon your past life influences as to what other karmic debt you have, as to whether it's going to tip the scales for you. And we can have self-inflicted past life lessons and karma that's accumulated by purging and the injustices in life received and given. Parents' lineage karma can be humongous to carry and complete, and tradition and beliefs live on through karma. In most cases, it's not ours to complete unless there is an agreement or contract. However, we can be stuck with karmic outcomes. The blind, deaf, and dumb approach continues to play live, keeping us entrapped in ancient thinking and behavior and in their karmic debt. We carry the baton, it's passed down. So we live ancient restraints, stoicism, slave, servant, sacrifice living, hidden from view, causing mental and emotional health issues. We live with low expectation, harsh living, poverty, our lot to live, no will to make change. It is very wearing, and we live on that treadmill living. Repetition and brainwashing deeper pushes us into the abyss because of the repetition, because of our acceptance and being quite stoic but apathetic at the same time because of the weariness of what is happening to us. We can't get out of it ourselves, and we certainly don't remember how to do that, even if we knew thousands of years ago. In the process of low energy manifestation, we embrace slave survival and punishment, sacrifice living. It would mutate our blueprint and DNA to suffering consciousness, and it becomes all on us. Our low energy choices and lack of awareness will create the cause and effect. Our systems became encoded, as did our energetics, to an encoding that was not compatible for our human frame and template function, knocking us off kilter. We're not meant to live that slave, sacrifice, and punishment, and the template would want to direct inner change while the mind and emotions would continue with the diversion, suffering, contamination that drove more out of body experiences and disease and out of order living. The karmic template and slave codes keep us entrapped in cycle and circle of karma. it disconnects us, we create disassociation, we are poor at social interactions and so therefore create karma, and we live with limitation to growth in other lives. And obviously, we bring the cycle and circle with us. So, whatever we're going to create in this life, we have a backlog to add to it. Karma and those codes live in your energetics, and this is where it will feed and go into the physicality, where it becomes a permanent atom to you. So certainly we bring our past life influences that is held within our auric fields. When it's intergenerational, it is born into your DNA, it's born into your cells. So that is a permanent atom. And then you have the past life influences that will add to that. How many agreements and agendas are you stuck in? Just have a think a moment. How many are managing you and you don't realize? You can ask this of your heart. Look at a gauge. Where does it stop? 1 to 10 on the gauge. Just make a note and we'll discuss it in a moment. Are you on poverty, slave, sacrifice, and suffering consciousness? Is that what you live? Because you can be and not realize it because of karma. And no matter how many meditations you do, how many somersaults you do, it's not going to change until karma is removed and the associations with it. So I've got some training on offer to help you with this apart from tonight. And this is where you can have a spiritual makeover. There's education and theory, universal enlightenment and transformation. Learn how to reduce your karma, how to remodel the self, and giving you skills and tools to help yourself. And the action. There is the theory, but there's the action. On all my courses, I do clearing and ridding you of karma. And it's the most liberating experience. And I've been teaching and helping people to remove karma and the implication in their lives very successfully for nearly 2 decades. And I have cutting edge expertise and knowledge to share with innovation, healthcare insights to transform you, jettison the karma once and for all. Because once it's gone, but it doesn't stop you from creating more, which is why you need the education. It helps you to learn what not to do to avoid and prevent. It removes the veils of karma with understanding and education. And you learn practical mindfulness, emotional intelligence, how to slow down and eliminate mind control, to be the master of your own destiny. And I was telling you about Kuan Yin, how she was on the karmic board. And she understood that we were challenged by the amount of karma that we had accumulated over eons of time. And of course, this is also hindering us now as we move into the Aquarian age. We are moving into the age of huge enlightenment. And while we have karma, we can't reach that. And certainly going back to John Bishop and Hugh Bonneville, cultures are very, very stoic in their history, and a lot of hurt and suffering and so on that's gone on in lots of cultures, etc. And they are still learning to let go of the karma from that, because otherwise we pass it on and we continue with, as it's happening in Russia and Ukraine, the intolerance of each other. So options open to you. We've got the weekend, soul and soul psychology, and introduction to karma theory and action. This is on the 28th and 29th of October, and it's a personal development training, health and well-being online training course. And here is a testimonial from Bao, who explained that the long arm of karma is astonishing, learning that karma with hidden influence impacts our lives today and how we can stop ourselves creating more. The bonus of attending, we arrive with truckloads and leave with less, and the clearing methods that I help to remove influences that limit and block us. Wonderful clearings, deeply relaxing to receive, and I felt lovingly supported, safe and nurtured throughout. And by attending the course, we benefited ourselves and those we were connected to, as the long arm of karma really is extraordinary. So thank you for that, Val. The long arm of karma, don't underestimate it, because it is very, very long, and it is very much involved. Having worked with people who had cancer, and they were terminally ill, and I had a chance to work with them, I found very much karma was involved. Some of it was karmic lessons around health, humility, and being able to accept help. It is an extreme level of learning, and I would suggest to people every time, don't get to that stage, because it really is a very harrowing experience, and we can do so much better to move on from these things. So it's the secrets of universal living, karma investigation, figures, facts, and reality lived, and realign and correct mind, body, spirit. I'm also offering, for the first time, an 8-week PM training, 6-week, that should say. It may be 8 weeks for some people, we'll have to see how it goes, but I'm offering 6 weeks PM training on different themes of karma, how, why, and elimination for you. And it's going to be a VIP fast track. It's a 2-hour evening theory and action separation and eradication. It's going to help, because it's being done over the 6 weeks. It's going to be a fast track to getting rid. And some people need this because they are so entrenched in it, or there are areas that they are struggling with and just can't move on. So that's the other option. It starts on the 10th of October. It's 2 hours, 7 till 9, and that's on a Tuesday evening. If you want to discuss further, explore, please contact. There will be a limited number on the block booking group, so the sooner you connect and book that, the sooner you have your plate. We've got some others coming up tomorrow night. We've got perfectionism. And then on Friday, it's about the spiritual makeover and allowing you to live life with grace and ease, and having the huge internal, external life being transformed from the inside out. And a lot of you I know here today have attended these workshops, Power of Three, etc., and found great benefit from it. We've got time for Q&A. Any questions you've got?